It's Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. Markets closed a couple hours ago. First market day for 2023, and markets closed red across the board. What was interesting today was Dow Jones was down at one point nearly 300 points. They got this thing in the last couple minutes back in the green, closed down only 10 points. NASDAQ was down over 150. It closed down around 78 points today. So it seemed almost like they were really trying to get these markets back today and could not do it. Real quick, let's talk about what we're heading into, what we just left in 2022. 2022, we had record crime, record inflation, record gas prices, and the worst market losses since 2008. I believe this is going to continue right into 2023 now. And today, another perfect example, markets across the board in the red. There is just no good news out there. Please, somebody comment down below and tell me where the good news in this economy is. I had somebody tell me yesterday that I'm too redundant and that I'm not giving solutions. And if you watch my videos daily, I'm always trying to give some type of solution. Typically the solution is you. You've got to better yourself. You've got to get in better shape. You got to get in a better mental mindset. You got to be walking closer to God. You got to be absorbing as much knowledge as you can. And you know, everybody's situation is different. You know, somebody that might have 4, 5, 6 kids, their situation is different than somebody that has no kids. But to sit here and say I'm redundant, well, I agree, I am redundant. And that's how you get good at something. When you practice something time and time again, when it's redundant, you get very, very good at it. And that's what we all need to be doing. We need to be redundant with our preparations and our thought process and how we prepare for this. You can't just do this for a day or two. It is now a lifestyle of preparations, a lifestyle of thinking outside of the box. It is a lifestyle to be an independent, free-thinking human being, somebody that's self-sufficient or the most self-sufficient that you can be. So yes, I agree, I am redundant. And there's a lot of people who might be tuning into this video first time today. And I have to repeat this message, and I am redundant. Again, that's the only way you get good at something, is when you repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. You go to the gym, you lift weights. It's repetition, 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 repetition. That's how you build a muscle. Same thing with your mind, repetition, repetition, repetition. When you get in a mental mindset and you're preparing yourself for what's coming and you're just repping it out, your mind is going to develop and prepare for a bad situation, a bad time. If you continue to put money away, gold away, silver away, that repetition of always putting a little bit away, at the end of the day, or at the end of the year, the end of a couple years, you're going to have a lot more money, a lot more gold and silver. So we must be redundant. And again, the solution is you. You've got to be thinking now outside of the box and your situation. But again, when you do something again and again, you perfect it. So we all need to be redundant at this point, and we need to be repeating more gold, more silver, more cash, more food, more water, more essentials, more training, more time at the gym. It just goes on and on and on. But if you do that, you're going to be much more prepared than anybody you know. I was reading an article today by Michael Snyder, 11 ominous predictions for 2023. There have never been so many big names on Wall Street who are so incredibly pessimistic for 2023. Now, I'm not going to go through all 11, but I'll go through some of the main ones here that Michael Snyder puts in the article. The IMF says we expect 1/3 of the world economy to be in recession. Even countries not recession, it would feel like recession for hundreds of millions of people. Here's one from the World Bank. World Bank says As central banks across the world simultaneously hike interest rates in response to inflation, the world may be edging towards a global recession in 2023. Developing countries and emerging markets are going to be seriously harmed. Nouriel Roubini. No, this is not going to be a short and shallow recession, he says. It's going to be deep and protracted, meaning that it's going to last longer than people expect. Larry Summers, he says this, it's much harder than people think to achieve a soft landing. I mean, think about the warnings that some of these people are putting out there. And I don't think you need one of these people to warn you. All you have to do is take a look at what's happening to your local shopping centers, your malls, your retailers, your restaurants, your bank account, your savings, your credit card debt, the amount of bills coming in versus the amount of money you make. More is going out than coming in for a lot of people now in the United States, and that's big trouble. Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon, when I talk to our clients, they sound extremely cautious. These are wealthy people that sound extremely cautious. Now, a lot of the average consumers out there, yeah, they ran to Best Buy over Christmas to buy a 75-inch big screen, and people are buying things they don't even need. And they show no caution, no concern. But wealthy people who may be a little bit more sophisticated or advanced with what's happening in the economy because they have more to lose, they see trouble and they're extremely cautious. And I think everybody better start thinking this way, just like the wealthy. That's why the wealthy are wealthy. That's why many of the wealthy keep their money. That's how they got wealthy, because they use caution. They pay attention. Too many people out there, too busy watching football games, buying big screen TVs, and just going to live for today. I get it. A lot of people out there know that their day is coming, and they're just going to run the credit cards up until there's no longer usable. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people are going to do. They just feel that, hey, they're just going to go out, with a bang. Nothing they can do. They're not going to prepare. They're just going to run the credit cards up, max them out, and let the bank deal with it. You, on the other hand, you will exercise caution, patience, and you see exactly what's going on. And this is really a financial chess match, a human chess match now. And every move is so important. Every move sets up the next move. And we have to be one or two moves ahead of the average person. We have to be a move or two ahead of this economy, because it's going to collapse even further than what it already has. And it is going to be quite a reckoning where people, when they tap out the credit cards, when they've tapped out the savings accounts and the checking accounts, then what? What happens then? That's where this is all going. This is happening right now. So don't be one of these individuals, because these will be the people knocking on your door for help. You've warned them. I've warned them. And they didn't want to listen. And now there's going to be a lot of pain and suffering out there in this economy. BlackRock, central banks won't ride to the rescue when growth slows, contrary to what investors come to expect. Michael Burry, inflation peaked, but not the last peak of this cycle. He says Fed will cut, the government will stimulate the economy, and this is going to create even more inflation. This one coming from Gallup. Americans largely pessimistic about U.S. prospects in 2023. It says here, 8 in 10 foresee struggles in higher taxes and budget deficit for 2023. 90% expect political conflict. Now, my question is this: what did these people do to prepare for 2023? There is going to come a point, ladies and gentlemen, when it is just too late to prepare. When the earthquake hits, when the flood hits, the tornado, the tsunami, whatever, the grid down, power outage, whatever, when it hits, it's too late to prepare. You have what you can get to. You have what you can physically hold with your two hands, what you can access physically. That's all you have. The ATMs may be down, the banks may be closed. These people always saying about, talking about bank runs, and get your money out of the bank, even though most of them have their money in the bank. I truly do believe it is possible we will see bank runs. You can just see what's happened in the crypto markets and the electronic digital bank runs we've already seen. But if you truly believe that there is potential for bank runs, I do believe it is possible. And I know that other people out there believe it's possible. But if you truly believe that there is a possibility or potential for bank runs, then get your money out of the bank. What's it doing in the bank? Keep enough in there to pay the bills. That's it. But what is a majority of your money doing in the bank if you think the whole system is going to come crashing down, which it possibly can? A lot of people out there will say, oh yeah, the bank run's going to crash. They have all their money in the bank. If you believe this, walk the walk. Get all your money out of the bank. Leave enough in there to pay your bills. I think that that's pretty smart. Because I do believe that there is a potential that we are going to see bank runs. I'm not saying it's going to happen this year, but could we see it somewhere in the future? Absolutely. Get your money out of the bank and be holding some of this stuff right here. This is what I think, and this isn't financial advice, this is what I'm doing. This is what I've been doing over the last 5 years. Stockpiling as much gold, silver, and cash that I can. This year, it's going to be land. It's going to be acreage. So to me, if you can diversify with acreage, with gold, with silver, with cash, I think that's a safe bet right there. Apple's market cap falls under $2 trillion as sell-off continues. Apple stock today down 3.74%, down I believe 26% for the year. They're saying that they're struggling with iPhone 14 Pro shipments from China over the holiday season. But is it that, or is it that people just cannot afford these phones and pulled back and just are not buying these expensive phones? Let me know in the comments what you think. At some point, people just are not going to be able to afford these phones, the toys. They're going to have a hard time even going out to dinner. I was talking to a friend of mine today and just talking about how expensive it is just to go to lunch or dinner, and how you're almost now forced to do it at home. Crypto investment firm Midas shutting down platform following losses. Well, here goes another one. So we have Celsius, FTX, Midas, Three Arrows Capital, Alameda, Genesis, BlockFi, and the list goes on. Is this where you believe you will be safe? Do you believe that your money is safe in these exchanges? Do you believe your money is safe in these cryptocurrencies? Are these really safe haven assets? Is this where you want to be during a massive recession? Is this where you want to be during a massive depression? I can tell you, in my humble opinion, no. I don't own any of this. This is, again, what I'm buying. This is what I'm going to continue to diversify right here. Cash, gold, silver, and land. I know somebody will say, well, you can't go to the store with this. Who are you kidding? You can't go to the store with this. Gold is probably the most liquid asset, and silver too, probably the two most liquid assets on planet Earth. You could go anywhere in the world with this or silver. People will recognize this as real money, not currency. Real money. And I could take this and I could liquidate this for cash, exchange it for cash, any currency around the world. Very easy. I could get in my car right now within 30 minutes, get around $2,000 for this right here in cash. And I could go to the grocery store because, they tell you can't take this to the grocery store. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to go take it, sell it to a metals dealer, or a jewelry store, or a coin shop, or whoever is paying the most. But right now, for this, I would probably, in all actuality, get pretty close to spot, where I think we're at 1845 today. So, if I got a little bit under or pretty close to it, great. 5 years ago, when I was making these videos, I was telling people that I think it's a good idea to buy some gold, buy some silver. If you bought gold back in 2018, it was running about $1,268 an ounce. Today, this coin today is $1,845. So almost a $600 increase. And I can exchange this for fiat currency anywhere in the world. But these people called it a barbarous relic, said it would never go up, it's worthless. And these are the same people that have lost everything in cryptos. They bought cryptos that have gone to zero. I think we had about 16,000 cryptos at one point. I don't even know how many are left. Many have gone to zero. And of course, some of the companies I just named to you that are gone, bankrupt, people going to prison possibly, and people wiped out. People borrowed money out of their homes to buy this garbage in this Ponzi scheme and have absolutely zero. Now, look, earning, $600 an ounce from 2018, if you bought back then, and earning $600 over 5 years, it's not a bad return at all. In fact, it's much better than what the markets did over the last 5 years. Again, people want to make the quick money. They want to gamble the Ponzi schemes and do whatever you want to do. I don't give financial advice. I sit here and I share with you what I'm doing. And I'm going to continue to stay on track because I haven't lost a dime holding gold or silver. And I can get to it in 3 minutes. I know where it's at. I can get to it. I can put it in different locations, different states. Nobody knows where it's at. Nobody knows what I'm doing with it. Nobody knows if I want to give this to somebody. Nobody knows. And I can exchange this for fiat currency anywhere in the world very, very quickly. So you should think about it. Do you want to gamble on Ponzi schemes as we enter a depression, or do you want to be holding something real that has a 5,000-year history that continues over time to keep going up, and nothing bad has really broken yet? What's going to happen when the US dollar comes under pressure? What's going to happen when we begin to see currencies in other parts of the world backed by gold? What do you think this is going to do? Why do you think central banks are buying more gold than ever? They're not buying Ponzi schemes. They're buying this. Central banks are loading up on this. So I think, again, we're playing a game of chess here, and we have to be a step or two ahead of what's going on. And we are being lied to about the data. We're being lied to about the condition of this economy. We're being lied to about the US dollar. I hold dollars right now, but at some point, the dollar is going to be under a lot of pressure. There's a lot of competition coming for the dollar. And there's a lot of countries around the world that just can't wait to ditch and unload every dollar that they have. And that's coming. That is coming. And you need to be prepared for that. People ask me where I buy. I do have a link down below, SD Bullion. Check it out. You don't have to go to SD Bullion. You don't have to buy gold or silver. It doesn't matter to me. I just think everybody should be diversified. Again, back in 2018 when I started making videos, I talked about this. And it was under $1,270. Now it's $1,845. And I do believe this year we're going to see gold shatter its record price. I believe we're going to see all-time highs in 2023 in gold. It's still being suppressed, but when they lose control, when the dollar comes under extreme pressure, or even a dollar collapse, if you're not holding this right here, you're going to be in trouble. This right here is real money. Everything else is credit. I'm going to finish with this last article. Today's cheaper gas is the calm before the storm. So they are predicting that we will go back to $4 national average gas, $4 a gallon. So what will this do for inflation? I think they're going to have a very, very hard time ever getting inflation back down to 2%. And if we begin to see fuel prices creeping back up, that's going to add to the inflation problem. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a really bad feeling about this year. We already just saw the markets today, first day of 2023, closed in the red. Maybe tomorrow they'll rebound. There's just big trouble. There's just big, big trouble out there. And if you feel the same way, then you need to take action immediately. whether that's with essentials, with your training, you're walking closer to God, getting in better physical shape. See, I'm going to be redundant here because every day I'm going to remind every one of you that you need to keep working on all of this. It can't not be one-dimensional. You can't just go, well, I have $1 million in gold, so I'm fine. No, you're not fine. You need to get in better physical shape. You need to have multiple skill sets. You need to be as independent as you can. You need to worry about how you're going to protect your family and protect your assets. So, you have to be your own security detail. You cannot rely on somebody coming to help you, just like investors better not rely on the Fed coming to the rescue. Right now, we're going to wake up one day and we're going to be in shock, I think, with what happens to the markets, what's already beginning to happen in the housing market. But we're going to wake up one day and go, oh my goodness, I cannot believe what just happened to the stock market. And the Fed is just going to be powerless. And there's going to be a lot of people that just get wiped out. What are they going to do? They're going to start blaming other people, their financial planner. They're going to blame the banks. They're going to blame the politicians. They're going to blame their pastor. They're going to blame their wife, their husband. They're going to blame something and somebody. And I'm telling you right now, the only person you're going to be able to blame is the person in the mirror, and that is you. Because you're being warned right now what's coming, and you better prepare for it. And if the way you prepare for it is just gambling in the stock market, relying on your 401k, relying on Ponzi scheme cryptos, you, my friend, are going to be wiped out. Don't be that person that wakes up that morning and goes, I've lost it all. What just happened? Who do I blame? You blame yourself. Right now, you need to be as diversified as possible. You need to be preparing mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. You cannot be gambling. Now you have to be owning safe haven assets. This is my opinion, not financial advice. This is me thinking out loud. This is what I'm doing. Could I be wrong? Yeah, maybe I'm completely wrong. Yeah, maybe I am. But I'll tell you this, I promise you 1,000%, this will never be worth zero. Can you promise me that about a stock? Can you promise me that about a cryptocurrency, a crypto exchange? Can you promise me that about a currency? No, you cannot, because if you did, you'd be lying. This is the only thing out there with a 5,000-year history that has never gone to zero, that continues to keep up with inflation, with the pace of inflation, still buys the same thing it bought 100 years ago, buys the same thing it bought 1,000 years ago. So right now, I think it is about protecting your money, protecting your wealth, not taking chances, not gambling. The sales are coming. Me personally, I'm not buying the dips. I will buy the crash. All of you can do whatever you think is right. This is me thinking out loud. Let me know your thoughts. Please comment down below. Let me know how you're preparing and what you see for 2023. We are 3 days in right now, first day of the market, red across the board. Maybe tomorrow they'll bounce it back, but they tried to save it today. You could just watch what they were doing with the Dow at the last few minutes, but they could not save it. And at some point, they're not going to be able to save it. They're going to lose control here, ladies and gentlemen. When the housing market goes, all bets are off. It is going to take down so many, think about how big the housing market is. Biggest industry literally in the world. When it goes, it's going to take everything down with it, including Wall Street. And again, this is when you could see bank runs. The banks are going to need to be bailed out. Accounts will be closed. So if you think that's possible, why is your money in the bank? Maybe it's time to get some of it out. Leave enough in there to pay the bills. Leave enough in there that you can afford to lose. I would not leave it all in the bank. God bless all of you. Look forward to speaking with all of you very, very soon. Stay safe out there. It's 2023. It's going to be a crazy year. All I can say is prepare the best that you can. Here we go.